Greetings.
This is David Page. Screw them, flat butter.
Here he is. Let's welcome Link Ray.
There is so much to talk about today. So much to talk about. I'm going to talk about the top things in the news. I hope I've got volume everywhere. Anyway, the first thing I want to look at here is a local sheriff's office. Now this right here, this is one of those things that's going to look like a great thing at the outset. How local sheriff's office is training deputies about autism, right? And like I said, that's just going to look great. The problem is usually they won't get trained of the right things, and then they're going to think they know more about autism than they actually do. and that can become a problem in itself. Let's see what their attitude is towards this, and what kind of what is actually going on here, because I bet you it's more ignorance being spread than there is anything good. Unfortunately. All right, so this is York County. I guess that's Virginia. The York Pascoon Sheriff's Office. What I'm just going to call it Pascoon. I know I'm saying it wrong. Started an initiative in April of 2023, so what, a year ago, to bring awareness to autism in the community and give its deputies training on how to interact with someone who has the disorder. So it's already being framed has the disorder instead of saying someone who is autistic or a person who is autistic, or they put it, or excuse me, autistic person. So it's kind of being framed as a disease here. I mean, not intentionally. And like these people are always good intentioned, but these stories are all current, and this is what's important to know. This is April 22nd, and watch as these stories as they will just line up and like a train here. Interestingly, anyway, we've given out well over 100 of the decals. The okay, so he said, even later in the year, the program is sparking conversation in the community and among his deputies. It is something that needs to be addressed by law enforcement because we are going to be interacting with those on a regular basis. Yeah, I hope you do, but I hope it doesn't end up hurting anyone. I know that's a really horrible thing to say, but that's just how it is. Um, All right. Okay, so it's something that needs to be addressed by law enforcement because we're going to be interacting with those people on a regular basis. Now, they probably won't have an autistic person here to represent themselves or anyone else. It's going to be so called qualified experts, that being the police. I hope you can see where the problem is going to be with this. By the way, welcome to the ninth edition to the Autistic Page. I am David Page. Here, where I'm going to be talking about the news and that's based in autism, things that interest me, usually based in more in science, law, things like that, uh, genetics, that sort of thing. I'm very interested in also the culture, not the little arguments or whatever, but the main culture of genetics and so forth. I'm very interested to see what that is and why that is. Um, it's just something I've always been interested in anthropology, but I think a lot of us autistic people are going to be interested in anthropology and so forth, just because we're autistic. You know, Okay, I'm gonna try to put some howdies out there. Let's see. I got a bunch of places to put them out. I'm streaming at 4 places right now, and I've never done that. And I'm like kind of trying to do news-ish, type things, right? So I got to find out how I'm doing, and I'm not getting anything on Instagram. Why am I not getting a? Ah, there we go. Okay, just so somebody knows I'm there. Um. Anyway, so back to the news here. Um. I do want to check one thing. There we go. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to have that camera today. I was hoping to have that camera today. But I do have my other cameras here. So anyway, moving right along. Um, Having police awareness is very important so that officers understand how to support someone that may be in a heightened crisis, said Whitney King with the Autism Society of Tidewater. The problem is this: usually they get a very, very little training, like a couple of hours of training. Then they think they know it all. And this has actually been proven. I've read articles about this. I actually read a paper about this. Anyway, so these people, they they get a little bit of training and they get just enough to be dangerous. I remember when I got a black my orange sash from my sensei, and I says, "What does this mean?" And he says, "You it means you know just enough to be dangerous." He says, in other words, you know what to do, but your body is not trained enough yet to handle what you're trying to do. And so, therefore, you can't pull your punches or whatever when you need to. And so, you might hurt me, so I have to be careful now. Oh, thanks. Just enough to be dangerous. And a lot of times, if they get a little bit of knowledge, they may judge that you're not autistic and that you're on drugs because they expect you to do one particular thing or something like that. So let's see what they say here. Or organization partner with YPSO on the initiative, which includes car decals for the community members and a heads up form that people can fill out and to notify first responders that someone in the household has autism. Now, this can be good or bad. Now, what they can say is we knew that there was somebody that was autistic in the house and we thought they had a gun. So it made us scared. So that may be an excuse. It may be an excuse for a good shoot. That means they could shoot where they wouldn't normally shoot. You got to be very, very careful. Remember, autism is the excuse to kill. No matter what, it's always going to be an excuse to kill. It's always going to be an excuse for police to kill. No matter what. I was a peace officer for 15 years. Okay? It will always be an excuse. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Did they just close it out? Okay. Oh, shit. Autism can occur in any demographic, King said. It is not solely based on someone's gender, race, ethnicity, or anything of that nature. That is very true. Did they say sex? Sex. Either. They said gender, but not sex. They probably. Okay, whatever. Hopefully they didn't mean any ill will there. Sheriff Montgomery says the ongoing training mixed with the decals has led to positive interactions between his office and the community. Now, it can be a good thing. Now, there could be that officers, if they're cool, know that there's possibly an autistic person in the area and that that could be a problem. That's a very good thing. We don't know. So, all right. Do I have anybody in chat yet? I want somebody to say hello in chat. Yeah, it makes a much more reliable interaction and safer interaction, said Montgomery. If you're interested in having decal, swing by the sheriff's office. You can also call the office. Ongoing training. Yeah, they don't say what their training was or what their ongoing training was. So it's likely to have caused more harm than good. They might have get the idea that if a person's autistic, that they are crazy and they might use weapons now. And when they go to court, that's all they have to say is that's what I understood. I got scared and I had to shoot be- because I was afraid of everyone's safety. Bam. If you give them a card that suggests anything, like you may hurt someone, or you may not know what you're going to do, or you may fight defensively or whatever, then they're what they're saying, what they can say in court is that you knew you were going to be violent so much that you had a card made up and gave it to the cops because you knew you were going to be violent. So they shot you dead and killed you. And they can do that. So you have to be very, very careful. Now, I have some cards that are on Facebook right now. And those cards are completely free. You can download them. They're right in the complete open, and they're for international, and then some are for the United States. They have a few specific things about the United States, but they do not indicate. They do indicate that police should be careful, but they do not indicate that you're necessarily going to be violent. Okay. So that's the good thing. So, what should I give this? I don't know. They really didn't give us much information, and it could do more harm than good. So, I think that's what it is. Did we not see that? Let's try that again. Interesting. Okay, let's try it now. There we go. I finally got it to work right. It's for train cars, and that is it. That's all it gets. Okay. Let's go on to the next. Hopefully, we got. Let's go on to the next page here. Oops. All right. What did I just miss? Good thing I know what I just missed. I can go back to it. It was this. Come on, what do we got here? Okay, National Autism Awareness Month. I have no idea what this is. I know this has something to do with Suffolk Sheriff's Office enhances support for LI Autism Community. So Suffolk, this sounds like down south. Teamed up with the Winter Center for Autism to help autistic adults in emergency situations. Okay, this is current. Okay, so this is a different thing. This is not Autism Speaks here. It's their own thing. I have not looked into this organization. Now, what there's it's very common for there to be very small organizations that that are local, and this looks like one of them. But look how they've incorporated the puzzle pieces, which tells me this is a very liberal organization. Hello, Jessica. So I really wonder how this is going to go. I don't think it's going to go well just seeing this. So it's New York has the third highest rate of adults living with autism spectrum disorder in the United States. Okay, that they may have the most diagnosis too. And there's a high per capita people there. What if there's really good care there out of millions and millions of people? They're getting the care they need, and people are actually getting diagnosed. So yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, anyway, West Babylon as I'm babbling along. New York has the third highest rate of adults living with autism disorder in the United States, according to the Center for CDC. Um, with these stats in mind, the Suffolk County Sheriff teamed up with Long Island's Winter Centers for Autism, a nonprofit dedicated to helping autistic adults, to support communication between emergency personnel. Okay, see, this ties into this is why I stacked these stories up like this was. Okay, now I'm actually making right now. I'm making kits. I have everything I need actually to make kits to give to first responders for autistic people, where they'll have like the little cheapy sunglasses you get when you get your eyes dilated, earplugs, little blankets, stuff like that, little fidgets, all kinds of different kinds of fidgets. Anyway, things like that an autistic person might need in an emergency, like I don't know, a house burns down, or I don't know, somebody passed. Who knows? Just emergency situations. So I'm going to be hopefully presenting those to some police officers here pretty soon, in a good way. Yeah, that's what they all call it, right? Yeah, it was a good meeting with the officers at jail all night long. Oh my goodness. Okay. Tools include cards with visual aids and tips for communication. So they're using cue cards, which is cool, in case somebody's nonverbal. To first responders, and will be available at the. And the problem is this: usually they just yell and scream, and if you're trying to figure out what the hell they're saying, and there's six of them saying something, you're not going to be able to understand what they say. So then they're going to think that you're not being compliant, and they're just going to start beating you up almost immediately. I'm just saying, you got to comply with them as quickly as you possibly can, or just lay down and lay out flat and let them physically move you or do whatever. But I will tell you this: they will shoot you in a heartbeat. I was a peace officer for 15 years. Okay. I know a little bit about peace officers and things, and the law enforcement. I was on the correction side, though. Don't get me wrong. I was not a street cop, but nonetheless, moving right along. WCEA was established in 2020 to offer jobs, training, and placement. So it's gonna. What it is it was created to employ laborers, basically. Okay, when we talk about autism and making jobs and all that stuff, I've got to close up this window a bit. It's getting too windy out here. Um, okay, so what happens is first of all, humans and beings are our worth is you know, as human beings is based upon our production. Okay, and this is what these people are going to be are interested in is the production. All right. Okay, right here they're talking about job training. Woo! Let me come out here. Okay, see this job training right there. Mm. All right. So what they're doing there is they're looking at this jobs training. That they're looking for laborers. And now what I am suggesting, what Autism Speaks should be doing, what everybody should be doing, is looking at autistics' special interest. Okay. What can we do? What can we do as special interest? Um, okay, the center identifies the skills and talents of participants and matches them with organizations open to creating jobs they have for autism. Okay, which is cool. But I think we should be mentoring them, us, mentoring us so that we can become college professor level, whatever we do. And I don't care if it's Teletubbies, knowing what the best Teletubbies on the planet are. I don't care. News comes during the sixth annual National Autism Acceptance Month. Okay, at least they're calling it Acceptance Month, which aims to empower everyone in the autism community to live fully according to the Autism Society. Okay, this is cool. So they did not use any bad language. It really wasn't ableist, which is kind of surprising. Oh, Josh, I'm kind of excited about this. That's that's what I'm thinking. Let's see if it will do it. There we go. No, not a 4. It wasn't very educational, though. You know what I mean? So, ah, it's not what I want.
This is David Page.
Come on.
This is David Page. Screw them. Flapper.
All right. So I'm just trying to figure out where all my stuff is, and where my gadgets are, and how I use them, and all that. So hopefully it's not too annoying here. So what this is the type of jobs we're talking about. What I'm talking about is college level jobs. Why don't we? Since we have special interests that are so amazing, this says this center identifies the skills and talents of participants, which is cooler than hell, and matches them with the organizations open to creating jobs for adults living with autism. Now they said living with autism, frame it like a disease. So I think this is going to be low labor things. They're not really looking at our true talents, like designing a cathedral or something that, or even if it's Teletubbies, knowing what every Teletubby item is actually worth and being able to auction it and make money off of it instantly and do that for a living or whatever. Um, why don't we cultivate those things and make that person do futures in freaking Teletubbies or whatever and make money? You know, I think we should do it. The thing is if we have somebody who's interested in geology or whatever, they're going to be the best geologists we could possibly deal with. You know. Okay. I hope. I'm trying to figure this out. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to see what I got here. Okay. So I don't have anything right now. Okay. Okay, finally. All right. I have such a hard time getting this. I will get it though. I'll get it down. I'll get her down. I'm probably boring the living doo doo out of everybody though. Okay, so next story. This is, I want to go to the next story here. So this got 6 streams. That's what it got. Where is it showing that on? Is this showing it on? So I want to project this stream. No. I want to project this screen onto another screen. So I got to figure out how to do that. Video capture device. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Okay, so this is another story. Um, okay, this is that Sulfic story. Let me get rid of it. Okay. Once again, now, this is interesting. After looking at these stories here, there's a couple more I want to look at. Um, this first one is autism in the election. Now, so we were just looking at how. Oh, howdy, Danielle. We were just looking at 2 stories about how the police are starting to recognize autistic people and start having training and so forth. Like I said, it sounds really good, but it's very, very difficult to deal with. It's very, very difficult. But, um, oops. Let me see if I can get this to move a little bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, I am so hating this. Thought I was going to have this down. Okay, there's my name. I want. Okay. No, I don't. Wow. Okay. Now I got it going. All right. I'm sorry about that. I am I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing here and get this going, and I'm just having a horrible time. Okay, so now we've been talking about the police here. Okay, and the police now are more and more. You're seeing the little puzzle pieces on the cars. You're seeing them trying to get involved. Now they're getting very, very little to almost little to no training. In fact, the little training that they're getting might be more dangerous than what it seems. Unfortunately. Um, and the reason for this is it's so little that they learn that we can be violent and they remember that. And then because they learned that we were violent, the next time they've got basically like an excuse to fight us or to what it should to unlife us or what have you, which is a real problem. Why is it doing this? I do not know why am having such a hard time today. Okay, is it working now? Okay, why does it keep doing that? Like, stop. Okay, we're good here. Okay, so what's going on here is this is beginning to talk about. Hopefully, I won't have any more malfunctions here. This is beginning to talk about how autism is being affecting the election, and for the most part, this is how we're going to use autistic people in the election. I'm sure. So, but let's take a look here and see what we got. Um, as the 2024 election approaches, autism has emerged as a significant and pressing issue that demands attention. I don't think so. I don't think we've made a fuss at all this year. This year's been quiet, very, very quiet. Heck, last year everybody was bitching about Harry. At least they were talking about autism. This year they're not even doing that. It's pretty sad. Over the years, autism has gained increasing awareness and recognition, making it a topic of discussion in the political landscape. I don't know about that. I have not seen it myself. Autism awareness has been on the rise thanks to the efforts and advocacy groups, parents, individuals with autism themselves. I do not like um, identity first, which would be with autism here, and then here's the autism because that means it's with cancer or with whatever, and that makes it very much like a disease to me. So I just don't like that. In previous presidential elections, candidates such as Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump addressed autism in their campaigns. I know Barack Obama talked a little bit about it, highlighting their importance of supporting individuals with autism and their families. Now, he just may have mentioned it one time for a press release, but he did mention it. It did happen. I know it did happen. So I know there is that. Okay. So this growing emphasis on autism awareness reflects the evolving understanding of the condition and the need for comprehensive policies that address the unique needs of individuals on the spectrum. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I think we're pushing that one a little bit far. I don't know about the need for comprehensive policies. I don't see any big push or urgency whatsoever. The, I got filtered. Uh oh. I think every precinct department should have an advocate specifically. That's exactly what I thought. I thought that there should be a local, like, okay, you're somebody that works with your whatchamacallit team, the crisis intervention team. You could have a neurodivergent, an autistic person going out there, and you could almost be random without any training. And no, they got to have to. No, they wouldn't. If they think they can go out there and talk somebody down, they can. If they're autistic and they don't, yeah, they can do it. And I know that, yes, I know they'd have to go through some kind of training to satisfy the neurotypicals, but no, they'd be completely able to do it. If they know they can do it, they could do it. Period. End of story. And they'd probably be able to do it better with neurotypical people too, because in a crisis, that's when real people really need to think things through. Um, anyway, it could be helpful. But I'm taking Danielle's idea and calling it my own completely because I am that guy. Oops. Okay, autism's impact on political landscape. I'm curious what they're going to say here. Autism impact on the political landscape is significant. Both major political parties, the Democrats and Republicans, are increasingly recognizing the importance of addressing autism-related issues on their platforms. Yeah, that's why they have that fake caucus, the Autism Caucus. Danielle, I give you a homework assignment. Look up the Autism Caucus sometime, and go down that rabbit hole. Try to get a hold of somebody at the Autism Caucus. See what happens. Try to get a phone number. Try to go to a meeting. I went down that rabbit hole a year ago and found out what all it is. Hey, you want to be on the Autism Caucus? Well, now that I've been elected to the House, of course I do. I'd love to be on that committee. Do I have to do anything? No. Good. But you can put it on your bio. Oh, really? Great. That's it. Literally, it's a fake caucus to pad people's bios, unfortunately. And I know Autism Speaks swears they did the ACT committee or whatever through that caucus. Bull crap. Because the caucus does not exist. Now, they may have gone to Chris Doyle. Or what's his name? Doyle. Or Chris Smith. What, Mike Doyle? He's gone now. He's retired. But they might have gone to Mike Doyle or Chris Smith. Chris Smith's running it now, which isn't running anything. He's, quote, in charge of it. But it isn't anything. I called him out on it one time about 2 years ago. I don't know if they changed anything after I called him out, but I called him out hardcore on the phone. This growing emphasis on autism awareness reflects evolving understanding of the condition and the need for comprehensive policies that address the unique needs of individuals on the spectrum. I bullshit the need for comprehensive policies. I have not heard a damn thing about that. That's pushing it. Autism impact on the political landscape. Autism impact on the political landscape is significant. Both major political parties, Dems and Republicans, are increasingly recognizing the importance of addressing autism-related issues in their platforms. Policies and approaches taken by each party differ, highlighting the diversity of opinions and perspectives on autism. Yeah, the Democratic primary hopefuls for 2024 presidential nominations have released comprehensive plans for disability policies, including specifically addressing issues affecting people with autism. And this is important. I don't care if it's baby steps, and I don't care if these are bullshit policies that are coming from Autism Speaks. If they do start, well, the problem is this: if they do nothing, and then we pump more and more money into doing nothing for autistic people, then nobody's going to give money to us anyway, because they gave billions of dollars to us and nothing happened. So we have to be very careful with that. But anything that brings awareness at this point in time, and the actual does show the need for awareness or for helping autistic people, That'd be really good. Key issues in the 2024 election. As 2024 presidential election approaches, autism emerges as a prominent topic of discussion. Increasing attention given to autism in recent years has propelled to the forefront of the election landscape. Two issues related to autism are expected to be central. Okay, we're getting into big stuff now. To be central in the upcoming election, increase for funding for autism research, of course, research, and support for families affected by autism. We were doing good until we started talking about research. You know that? We were doing pretty good. Support for families affected by autism. Another significant issue that is expected to be addressed in the 2024 election is the need for greater support for families affected by autism. Autism presents unique challenges for individuals and their families, and it is crucial to have policies in place that provide the necessary resources and support systems. Wow, they keep on saying that the same things over and over. Families affected by autism often require access to specialized health care. Yes. Educational support. Yes. And I believe mentors, and I mean mentors for professorships, high mentors for businesses. And my father was going to mentor me in the business world, and I sat there and just listened to him sit there and cut deals, and then he would tell me what he was doing when he got done, and he was mentoring me to be basically a corporate business person, and I would have basically just kind of gotten walked in the door. That did not work out. They have advocated for increased funding for research, of course, more research. And the thing is Autism Speaks has to stop doing the research. They're putting like $20 million, I think, or $10 million, something, an exorbitant amount of money toward this research. And the thing is this, with that kind of research going forward, it is going to be applied to eugenics. When the autistic community needs that money for services. What if it helped with housing? Like, I'm going to be only getting $800 a month. $800 a month to support myself. That's not going to be enough to cover rent. So what if there's somebody that has kids that needs the money, that only gets $800 for SSDI? See, I don't get anything right now. So what if it's a single mother or something that has two kids? Then in Autism Speaks, instead of going to research and trying to kill us, maybe that could go to actually helping autistic families directly. Maybe for schooling, maybe for special education, maybe paying those mentors to help us. Maybe a kid just wants to be a fisherman. Just wants to be. Ha ha ha. Yeah, fish. Yeah, just wants to be. But what I mean is maybe they just want to go out to sea and learn and see. Yes, they can come home and they can learn about ecology. They can learn about all the stuff like that I think they should have. And they can go out and fish when it's time to fish and come back. Like I said, I think they need a very deep background in ecology or whatever the fishermen do, so that they know the patterns and know a lot more, as much as any ecologist or marine biologist. I think they should have that background. And think if you have autistic fishermen out there, and that's what they love to do. Just saying. Democratic and Republican perspectives. Now remember, the Republican Party, the lobbyists at Autism Speaks have given $132,000 to the Republican Party, most of which went to the National Republican Committee to basically get people elected into the House of Representatives as Republicans. $132,000 donated in the name of Autism Speaks. About $500,000 given to lobbyists, both Democrat and Republican. Mostly just Republican. Only a tiny, tiny bit, like maybe 5-10%, went to Democrats, if that. Democrat Party's stance on autism. The Democrat Party has historically been supportive of policies that benefit individuals with disability, including autism. That is correct. They advocate for increased funding for research, unfortunately, and early intervention services and mental health care. My son did not get the mental health care that he needed because probably the stigma of getting the mental health care that he needed. For whatever reason, he did not get the mental health care he needed, and he blew his brains out. Getting the mental health care we need now is what we need. Not research for eugenics that will be applied to eugenics in the future. We need those funds to help actually autistic families now. We don't need commercials giving us stigma. Stigma so much that they don't get that mental health care that they need. Autism Speaks unlifing children. Not directly, I can't say. But why would you even spread that stigma? Should be ashamed of yourselves. Anyway, moving right along. This is not Autism Speaks. The while the majority of Democrat candidates have provided detailed proposals, it is essential to note that former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is the only candidate who has not released a policy on disability issues. Overall policies put forth by Democrat hopefuls are generally more favorable for autistic individuals, autism researchers, compared to current Trump administration. And also, for queer people and transgender people and non-binary people, the Democrat Party is going to be more helpful, and hopefully we can get those radicals out. I don't care if there's Republicans out there, but those radicals that are trying to get rid of trans people and trying to legislate them out of place, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Actually, they need to make laws that put people in prison who even try to make laws like that. But that's just me. You know what they're acting like? You know what they're acting like, Danielle? I think they're acting like... Let's see if you're seeing it. I hope you see it. Oh, come on. Okay, there it goes. Oops. There it goes. Yes. Yes. That's the new Autism Speaks sign right there. And we believe our new updated logo for Autism Speaks represents inclusivity and optimism. All right? All right? All right? That's what we want to do, is light it up blue, darn it. We want to light it up blue. No, my goodness gracious. Okay. Now, let's see if I can pull up my my main screen again. All right. All right. See if I can find it. I am not figuring this out yet, and I'm having a hell of a time. I thought I had it down. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. Finally. The Republican Party's approach to autism is much like the English approach to autism. Oh, they're getting better. They're getting better. uh, all right. The Republican Party is not going to be beneficial towards us. I don't know what their solution is as far as helping us, but they definitely don't want public funds being used for us. That's just not how they work. I need to open up my window here a little bit. Okay. We're having a very, very windy day. It's blowing that living poo out of me. Okay, so yeah, we're having a all right, so I'm going to read this Republican Party thing and see what they actually say. While the Republican Party also expresses support for individuals with disabilities, their approach may differ from that of the Democratic Party. Republicans tend to advocate for policies that promote individual responsibility, self-efficiency, including employment opportunities for adults with autism. So, this is where if you could talk the Republicans, you could talk them possibly into doing those mentorship programs to tell them that you're going to get increased productivity from these people. And then you're going to be able to sell it. So this article is saying that they're also more likely to buy into the story like with Autism Speak, where they're pushing the employment thing, but they're pushing for laborers, not education. All they're pushing businesses for is laborers. They say, hey, we've got laborers. And I just don't think that's right. I don't think that's what we should be doing, you know? All right. So Republican Party's focus on individual responsibility can also translate into policies that prioritize economic growth and job creation. It should have education in there. Well, they may ignore that actually because we are autistic. While they may not emphasize the increased funding for research to the same extent as the Democratic Party, they recognize the importance of providing opportunities for individuals with autism and lead to a fulfilling independent lives. So it is important to note that individual candidates within each party may have nuanced perspectives on autism, and disabilities. Yeah, everybody's going to have a nephew with autism or some crap. And yes, with autism. That's exactly how it's going to be too. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness gracious! I'm gonna see if I can get this this port camera to work real quick. I almost had it going, I think, before. Port or starboard one? There it is.
Here he is. Let's welcome.
Nope. There it is. Nope. We're gonna try it one more time. Okay, it just doesn't want to come on. All right. Moving right along. The need for comprehensive autism policies. What kind of... Okay, Yellow Bus ABA Autism Therapy Services. This is a very weird story to be coming out. It is important to note that individual candidates within each party may have nuanced perspective and disabilities Blah, 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 blah. Okay. The need for comprehensive autism policies. In the context of 2024 election, it is crucial to address the need for comprehensive autism policies that can effectively support individuals on the autism spectrum and their families. Two key aspects that require attention are early diagnosis and intervention. Okay, so what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Diagnosis and intervention. What are we talking about? We're talking about A, B, A. Always be aware. Always be aware, okay? Yes. ABA, also known as ABA therapy. Always be aware. Addressing diagnosis and early intervention. Early detection and intervention play a vital role in optimizing outcomes for individuals with autism. And I don't have a problem with that. I think teachers should be trained in this, like extensively, because they're with them all day long. They're with the kids while they're awake more than hours a lot of times than the adults are, than their family is. So who's the best person to determine if they're autistic or not? Absolutely, I think they should have training in that. And, for other things too. Absolutely. Why not? They should be first responders too, every damn teacher. And they have more than enough time to be trained as first responders. And I'm talking like EMT level. They have more than enough time in the summer. But that's just me. I was an EMT first responder. Okay, so and I don't have a problem with that. However, autism is not often diagnosed until later childhood, despite the potential for earlier detection. This delay can result in missed opportunities for early intervention, which can significantly impact a child's development. So we're not getting too scary here so far. To address this issue, politicians can advocate for policies that promote early diagnosis through increased awareness, education, accessibility screening programs, and see, that should be the screening programs. Why not the teachers? Then you don't have to hire people to do anything special. You just give them the education they need. That simple. And by having all teachers educated, if one misses one, or two misses one, or three misses one, 5 aren't, or 10 aren't, or 20 aren't through their school history, or careers. Anyway, by ensuring that healthcare professionals and educators right here, have the necessary resources and training to recognize the early signs of autism. So I'm not. I guess I'm not the only one with that idea. Somebody else thought of it before I did, and they put it. I thought of it first. They just wrote it down before me. That's it. That's it. Yes, moving right along. Children can receive appropriate support and intervention at the earliest stage possible. And that's where we got to be careful here that we don't get into the ABA. Remember, like my kid, I taught my kid to talk, okay? He could talk because of me at like 6 years old. But I taught him, okay? All right. Access to affordable therapy and healthcare. Okay, once again, if we're doing this this stuff here on if we are spending money on research instead of on families, this is what happens. We don't have that access to affordable health care. That's where Autism Speaks should help. Maybe they could campaign for making more health care or something else, more affordable health care, instead of just getting more money for like millions and millions of dollars in bonuses. There's no excuse for that. Families with children on the autism spectrum often face challenges in accessing affordable and accessible therapy options, leading to delays in diagnosis and treatment. Yeah, Medicaid can be helpful in this country anyway. Financial burden of therapy and healthcare can be significant, placing a strain on families already navigating the complexity of raising a child with optimism. Okay, okay. Guess what happened here? Guess what happened here? We got a little bit, um, ableist there. Financially burden The financial burden of therapy, healthcare can be significant, placing a strain on families already navigating the complexities of raising a child with autism. So yeah, it can be expensive. Of course it can. I mean that's real. I don't like characterizing it that way. Um, I think we could reword that a little bit better so it's a lot more optimist, but we'll see. Politicians can address. I worked all. Are you still there? Are you still there, Danielle? Um, politician. Excuse me. Politicians can address these concerns by advocating for increased funding for therapy programs, improve insurance coverage for autism-related. So this is what why they're lobbying more than likely for partnerships between schools, local therapy providers by working towards making therapy more affordable, accessible. Families can receive the support they need without experiencing financial hardships. But the thing is ABA is expensive as hell. You know, it is. Autism employment. Now, this is where I don't know where they're going to go with this, but like I said, Autism Speak is going to employers right now and saying we have laborers. We have laborers right now, and that is their approach to how they're going about this. Okay, so we need to be very cognizant of this. Okay, challenges faced it by autistic individuals. Now, I hope they're going to go towards education. I doubt they will. And mentoring people in education. What if you're a violinist and you're in high school, but people see that you're autistic, that you're talented, and a violinist from the local symphony takes you on as a mentor, in addition to your schooling, things like that. And of course, all their mentoring can be absolutely in public and stuff like that. But that kind of thing, where you can really truly learn your special interest by someone that also has that special interest. Are you back, Danielle? Employment statistics highlight the need for increased focus on autism in the workplace. In the UK, for example, only 16% of adults are in full time employment. These factors can make it challenging to navigate traditional work environments and may not adequately support their needs. Creating inclusive work environments is crucial for supporting autistic individuals in the workplace. Now, see how this right here is still very ableist, I would say. Um, it's just creating inclusive work is crucial for supporting autistic individuals in the workplace. See, I mean, this is very matter of fact here, and it's not really ableist, but it's also a very third person, and we're not really including the autistic people either. And I think that's important. Employers who have embraced a more inclusive approach, and that's exactly what we need here. A more inclusive approach have reported positive outcomes, including increased productivity, better staff retention, and improved morale, according to National Autistic Society. I guarantee you, if you prepare bosses for an autistic individual and they get that autistic individual, that is going to be great. They are going to do a lot, and it is going to be a good thing. Simple adjustments in recruitment and the workplace can go a long way in creating more inclusive, supportive environment. For instance, providing clear expectations during interviews and flexible. What did I tell you? Here they start it right here. For instance, providing clear expectations during the interviews and offering flexible work arrangements. Okay, see, they're not going into education at all. We've abandoned education now. We don't care about education. We're on a whole different thing now. We want workers right here. This is what we want. We want workers. Recognizing the valuing the unique strengths and abilities of autistic individuals is essential. Exactly. And that's why I think we should get us in school and try to catch this as early as possible. And maybe they're a computer nerd, like my son was, right? Why will not have local mentors from like a computer store mentor him and maybe work with having work with him on Saturdays, that kind of thing, almost like journeymanships. But we could do that at the college level and the collegiate level. I think we should push these kids as hard as we can. We could even pay these mentors for their time. And what kind of kids could we develop if we coddled them and supported their talents? Just saying. By leveraging these strengths, employers can benefit from more diverse and innovative workplace. That's very true. Innovative workforce. Fostering creativity. Very true. And problem-solving abilities. Yeah, and they need to understand that autistic people are creative. That's creative. That's what that says. Creative, okay? Extremely creative, and we're so creative that we may not do things the way other people do. It is important for employers and society as a whole to embrace the potential of autistic individuals in the workplace by providing appropriate accommodations, understanding, support. We can create an environment where autistic individuals can thrive professionally. Yes, that's pretty good paragraph there. Once again, I think we're we're not looking at the big game here. Okay, the end game here is that we tutor we tutor autistics and whatever their and this could go for ADHD people too. Whatever their special interests are, and we really try to help them with that. And we see what we can do and what can happen when we help people like that. The rise in autism prevalence has significant implications for the economy and workforce. Individuals on the spectrum are more likely to be unemployed or underemployed compared to neurotypical peers. I've been unemployed for the last 2 years. Okay, I got to reconnect to um, Bear. I wasn't hitting buttons and stuff like that, and it doesn't pick me up scrolling here. So I've got to like hit a button or do something here and make it look cool, so that it knows I'm here, or else it wants to shut me down, which means I've probably been on an hour now. I don't know. I didn't time it at all. Okay, hold on. All right. I just feel like putting something in the chat. Look, there's people chatting. Yeah. One day I'm gonna figure out how to see what's in the chat here. I sure wish I could see. I'm gonna have to take a look at it later. Anyway, so the recognizing this issue and implementing comprehensive policies to address the employment challenges faced by individuals should be. Okay. Oh, this does not look good. Okay. I cannot believe how screwed up this is. All right. There we go. So, I'm so sorry. This thing is like so crazy, but I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, autism in a global political discussions. As autism awareness continues to grow, discussions around autism have been an integral part of global political conversations, with countries like Canada leading the way in autism advocacy. Um, I'm not going to read about. Okay, let's go down to the conclusion. Autism is a critical issue which affects millions of people worldwide. The rising prevalence of autism has brought the attention to um, the challenges faced by those with the disorder and their families. As a result, it has moved to the forefront of 2024 election, which that's going to happen. I didn't realize this was Canadian, but it's the same thing's going to happen indefinitely in the United States. That's really what this truly is all about. Um, all right. So, greater awareness and support of individuals with autism and their families are crucial for improving their lives, reducing the stigma associated with the disorder. By supporting candidates who prioritize autism awareness support, voters can help ensure the issue remains a priority for the discourse.
I'm so scared.
uh, okay, so what do we give this? I don't know. You know what? It's not too bad. I'm thinking it should have 5 trains. That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think. See if I can turn this thing back on. Boop. Okay. All right. How'd I do on that little effect there? I never have like tried messing around with effects, but it's fun to play with. I tell you that. All right. So okay. Conclusion. Okay, this is fun to play with. I have not done this before. Okay? Not done this before. Give me a break. All right, greater awareness and support for individuals with autism. So we gave it a oh yeah, okay. We gave it I don't know. We gave it okay, that's right, 5 trains, that's what she got. That's what she got was 5 trains, and that was all. Okay, on to the next story. Now, this is about Albertson Airport conducts. Let me see. This is Appleton Airport conducts a deal. I'm gonna have to see where that is. But I recently, about 6 months ago, a year ago, went to Washington, and I checked out the. In fact, where is it? Oh, I don't have it hanging around here. I should have it out. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. Here, let me go get it. I will go get it. Go get my prize. I have a sunflower lanyard, and I have never talked about it before. I was traveling through bus stations. They had never heard of it at the bus stations, but this is it. This is the lanyard right here, and it's a sunflower lanyard. Okay, and hopefully you can see this. All right. So what this lanyard is for at the basically is a indication that you may have special needs, whatever, and that you need to hopefully go to the front, and they might help you onto the airplane first or whatever else so you can get situated and everything before there's the onslaught, that kind of thing. So there are a lot of advantages to it. I found between Denver, Phoenix, there is a place in Washington, Washington State, around Seattle. They really didn't, like 1 in 10 or 20, so 1 in 15 or so really knew what it was. Because I actually did an interview. Here, I'll show you. Okay, so I did an interview with these things, and this is what I had. Interesting that. Okay, so this is what I have right here. And here's the sunflower itself, and then on the back it has your information. I don't know what it says. Yeah, it says David Page there. Has all my stuff. I'm artistic. It's not my handwriting. Oh, that's my wife. Would you please return my husband? He has strayed away. That's exactly what that is about too. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It looks like we got a little show here, and this is Appleton Airport. Conducts a travel test run to ease stress. So they're going to be talking about these exact lanyards right here. Okay, that's exactly what they're going to be talking about. This lanyard right here. Okay, that's what they're going to be talking about. So let's go back and see what they have to say here.
Business owners, you might be entitled to compensation as part of a $5.6 billion payout if your business accepted Visa or...
I don't think that has anything to do with this. Hope I didn't just lose my story. There it is. Alright, here it is.
The Appleton International Airport hosted an event to help with the stress of travel for those impacted by autism. Wings for Autism.
And so more than likely they are going to talk about these sunflower. I hope they do.
Autism was today from 11 to 2. In collaboration with Air Wisconsin and the TSA, the Appleton International Airport was able to create a test run for individuals with autism and their families. They say these type of events helps what is often a stressful situation.
Go through everything from the check-in.
Oh my God, they're not going to even mention the sunflower. I cannot believe it. That's known all over the world. It started in England actually, and it made its way to the United States at most of the major airports.
Process to going through TSA, sitting at
And this guy's not even going to mention it. Isn't that crazy?
the gate, listening to the boarding announcements, finding your seat on a plane, and going to baggage claim. So all of that
We started at a 5.
helps reduce anxiety for travelers with autism.
The event also
Okay, we got it was a 7 at least.
helps airport and airline professionals enhance their services within a structured environment.
The lake sturgeon population is thriving and needs no federal
And that's
protection.
all they
That's
got to
according-
say. Okay. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? I got to know. I'm thinking oh boy, I don't know. I'm thinking whew. Okay, at least they had some. They had some education there. But I'm thinking it's 6. Yeah, you only get 6 cars on that one, buddy. That's all you get. Yeah, that was no good. I didn't like that one. Not at all. Okay, so this is from The Guardian. And The Guardian is a fairly a respected paper. And this is interesting. It's once again, we're on travel. See, everything's linked today. Everything is linked today, which is really cool. It's all put together. I'm going to have to do something on this other stream here. Wow, main industry. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. You have to do stuff on I have to figure out what the least I can do on TikTok. But I need some people to join me on TikTok. What's going on here? Huh? And I need some likes. I don't even have my stalker on YouTube right now. Okay. All right. Autism is... She's cute. Autism makes travel a challenge. Here I learned how to cope. This reminds me of like Alaska, where there's a lot of places like that. For whatever reason, I've seen a lot of places like that from pictures from Alaska. Okay, busy places, unexpected events used to send me into a meltdown on a holiday. Autism diagnosis helped me to adapt my plans and rediscover the joy of traveling. Well, yeah, when you know that you're autistic, you can make better plans. You can definitely make a lot better plans. You know? You can make a heck of a lot better plans. Wait, let's see if it lets me get... How do I get in and finish this article? Okay, we do this. I don't want to look at the pictures. I want to get the rest of the article. I don't know how to do it. Why won't it let me get in the rest of the article? Okay, there we go. Okay, finally. I'm like, what? Okay, so here's the beginning. Now, okay, so we talked about the police. We talked about the dangers of that. We've talked about local politics and how politics, that was specifically a Canadian story. But it will, of course, apply to the UK, US, and maybe even those Aussies. I don't know. I don't know if anything applies to them Aussies. I don't know how they hang upside down from them toilets and make them work, but they do something. Anyway, busy places, unexpected events used to send me in. Okay, Wandering hand in hand through the medieval streets of Bologna. Where's Bologna? I don't know where. Bologna is Italy. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Alaska and Italy are almost identical. Yeah, yeah. All right, so who do we got here? Okay. Um, we admired the Church of Santa Maria della Vita, Dia Vita. Okay, so Church of Santa Maria Dia Vita is its imposing bark interior, lavishly. Oh, I said it in Spanish. I said Church of Santa Maria Dia Vita, and they would probably say it very different in Spanish. We caught a little red and blue across express train up into the hills. Okay, why are we talking about hills and? No, I'm not reading this whole thing. Okay, not even reading a whole travel story. For autism. Okay, so unfortunately, that story was just going to kill me. It was too, okay. Yes, coming soon. New app Magnus Cards takes flight to help travelers with help with accessibility when flying. Okay, I don't care. Okay, this is the story I was looking for.
Overall health, I think the biggest thing is just it's a way for me to push myself and expand on those boundaries and sometimes use surprise.
Okay, we're going to have to wait for 30 seconds. But this is Fresno, California. I don't know if this ad has anything to do with this or not. April's Autism Acceptance Month, which encourages understanding and support for those with the condition. Okay, you notice how that's framed right there? It's those with the condition right here, as if it's a disease, right? So it's a big fat disease.
It's remaining uncomfortable. I think that's one of the main ways that we grow.
So that's what it is. I want to see what this happens after this ad. According to nonprofit Autism Speaks, now they're qualifying Autism Speaks as the experts right off the bat. Okay. As soon as they make references, remember they are referencing.
Action News.
Okay.
April is Autism Acceptance.
Okay, hopefully okay, hopefully I'm not frozen out here. Okay, I just may not be able to use this player. Let me give it a minute. Let me make sure.
April is Autism.
Oh, really? Come on. I'm going to let it charge for a
Acceptance
second.
Month, which encourages understanding and support for those.
I'm going to let it sit here and rest for a minute. Unfortunately, my connection is horrible. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still at 60 per.
With the condition. According to nonprofit Autism Speaks, national data shows that a majority of adults on the autism spectrum disorder.
Okay, I'm gonna let it try to catch up. Yeah, I just didn't. I'm gonna do another test. Anyway,
Are either unemployed or underemployed.
Action News reporter.
Okay. This one's just gonna be kooky on me. All right, Fresno, California. I'm gonna try to stop it. Maybe I'll try it at the end. The Arc of Fresno and Madera counties worked with adults in developmental disabilities such as autism, learn how to be successful members of the community and workforce. We work with individuals who are capable of getting in the workforce, living independently to kind of take care of themselves, Travis Cardwell says. We help them to strengthen the skills and get the employment to be able to live independently. See how this is being framed here? This is being framed as we need laborers, right? We need labor, and it's what your value is as a human being. Is based on your production. Okay? And that's a problem. That's a real big problem. Because our self-worth, our worth is going to be based on our productivity then. We work with individuals who are capable of getting in the workforce, see, living independently to kind of take care of themselves. We're talking about high supports and needs people there. Let's see what they have to say here now. Maybe it's going to work now for me.
Amanda Aguilar shares the challenges they face in the workplace and how.
No, it's not going to work. I don't think I have enough bandwidth for what I'm trying to do.
One Valley organization is taking action to prepare adults with autism for employment.
A lot of people are scared to work with. Okay, I got to turn this off. Okay, a lot of people are scared to work with our individuals because they don't know how to handle it. Because they see some of them, of the more higher end or lower functioning individuals, so to speak. Right there we got it. And we're getting the higher functioning and lower functioning labels right there, which is sad. That means that they've already got it framed in a they misunderstand. They've already got a fundamental misunderstanding of what autism is. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see if I can get this camera to work here. Okay. That did not work. All right. So they're also projecting a bit of fear here, which is kind of sad. Who may have behaviors or outbursts and things that they don't want in their workplace, said Cardwell. So it completely turns them off to the whole idea. Those outbursts, most of the time, far and fewer between. If they have a proper workplace, we probably won't have any outbursts. If they're properly set up for us. And if not, a shame on them, because they have their entire workplace tailored to their needs, right? To all their social stuff. According to Cardwell, the partnerships with local companies play a huge role in enriching their clients' lives. Now they get to go out and experience things. They get to be just a part of their community. See how they're acting like they're doing them a big favor? It's such a big, big favor. All right, so what do we give this? What do you think? I don't know. I'm thinking... I think that wasn't a bad story. It was better than others. It wasn't real, except for that one thing about high functioning and lower functioning. And you will respect my authority. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna respect your authority. I think 6 chains is definitely what makes that appropriate on that one. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go to the next story. Autism Society of Maryland's hiring program helps adults on the spectrum find jobs. Well, look at this. Another story on finding work. This is part of WTOP's, let's see, Autism Society of Maryland hiring programs helps adults on the spectrum find jobs. This is part of the WTOP's continuing coverage of making a difference in our community, reported by Stephanie Gaines-Brent. Hey. Okay, I don't get to do that. But do I get to see? Am I live? Yes, I am live. Okay. Thank you so much for showing. Oh my goodness gracious. Rates of diagnosis for autism spectrum disorders have risen to 1 in 36 children. That's a 2020 statistic from the CDC. In Maryland, the rate is 1 in 43, according to the Autism Society of Maryland. So that means that they're probably getting diagnosed more often. They probably have a little bit better health care in Maryland, which is great. That's what we want to see. April is Autism Acceptance Month, and the WTOP is celebrating a Maryland organization helping autism adults find success in the workplace. Remember, this is another thing where, like, Autism Speaks is looking to say, look, we have laborers. They're not really looking to show and improve autistic people's lives. They're just trying to find them any labor that they can instead of trying to help with our education and mentoring us. Melissa Rosenberg, Executive Director of Autism Society of Maryland, said that 30 years ago, when parents of young children who didn't know much about autism started the group, they spent the time educating themselves and advocating for their children. Now those children are adults who, Rosenberg said, have a lot of need as they transition into adulthood. Okay, yeah, we know they transition into adulthood. Nothing new about that. Nothing new here. It's really the lifespan of services that are needed. Of course, we need We need things that are going to help autistic people. The Society Autism Hiring Program, now in its 4th year, helps adults on the spectrum find jobs working in Howard, Ann, Andrew, and Montgomery counties. So, and this must be around Maryland or something. Kristen Litnick, resource coordinator for the Autism Society, yes, Maryland, said the group's work. Okay. So what we have is a little group here that's helping autistic people. Let's see how they're summing it up. The Autism Society of Maryland is part of the Autism Society of America, located in Rockville. It is a network of 170 or 70 affiliate groups around the country that connect and empower autistic people of all ages and their families with resources so that they can live fully. Oh my goodness. We're not going to live fully without them. And they give a picture of someone that they don't say is autistic, which is kind of weird. Oh, I don't know on this one. I'm thinking really nothing fun, nothing interesting. Yep. That's what I got to do. I got to give it a 5. We don't even care. That's what we're giving. It was such a bad 5, we just gave her a 4. All right. Okay, I don't think this is going to let me go anywhere on this, unfortunately. I'm going to try to refresh it. Okay, good. Okay, they're not going to let me read this, unfortunately. But we can go to the next one. Remember, these are current events, and this is a character, Paras Patel, hopes by playing a character on the spectrum, he helps to showcase inclusion and acceptance. Is this going to be ableist? I will say yes. I will give a big fat Y yes. It is going to be very ableist. Watch and see. Get rid of my brush here. He's partnered with Autism Speaks. Oh, no. Okay, so we're qualifying Autism Speaks right off the bat. And that is a problem. And see, this is the problem that we have with this kind of thing. And right now, I'm getting a little bit bored. And you know what I'm going to do? I think we are going to go on a quick break here. And we are going to do some, just take a little break here. All right. Let's get back to work. Darn it. Okay, we are back. Okay, so I don't know who this is. He's partnered with Autism Speaks. Now that's a problem already. When he thinks that Autism Speaks is the solution, there is a big problem. But what he probably did was he probably honestly was trying to find actually autistic people, and he did not know that Autism Speaks does not represent us. How could he? You know? Hey. So he's part. The star plays Matthew, a man on the spectrum, in the hit streaming show The Chosen, a groundbreaking historical something. What happened to the rest of the story? Historical documentary. Paris, it just like missed half the story. It just like disappeared. He's partnered with Autism Speaks to spread the message even farther. Paris Patel joined the Life Minute Studios this month. The star plays Matthew, a man on the spectrum. Oh, great. Now, this is going to be a big issue with a lot of people because many in the autistic community believe that autistic actors should play autistic characters, particularly because there's a big disparity in the autistic community because we simply do not get hired as much. So here we have yet another situation where people are being hired to play autistic roles that are not autistic when there are actors available that are actually autistic. And this is kind of creating a problem for us because, like I said, we don't get to play necessarily all the roles that we want to. It's kind of, hit and miss. Of course, that is how the whole business is. So, in honor of Autism Awareness Month, he joined forces with who? Autism Speaks. Yes, he did. Look at this right here. Yes, Autism Speaks. The organization that helps people, what do they help people do? They help people with autism reach their full potential. No, they don't. And I love how they just say, we reach our full potential and they leave it there. They don't really say how they do that. And then if they do, it's really, really vague. Paris says, showcasing inclusion. Okay, you're talking about inclusion. And who the fuck's not in the movie? Autistic people. Oops. I just got probably a strike on I was talking about trucks. Yes, trucks with tractors and stuff. That's what I was talking about. With the TNR at our farm equipment. That's what I was talking about. Going down the highway. I was not saying a curse word. Whew. Really, he has the audacity to talk about inclusion when he is a neurotypical person playing an autistic person. Does he not see the irony there? Paris Patel joined us in the Life Minute Studios this month. He plays Matthew. Okay, we read that. In Autism Awareness Month, he joins forces with Autism Speaks, the organization that helps people with that disease, autism, reach their full potential. Paris says, showcasing inclusion as well as feeling seen and accepted and showing the community that they have a place is what the show has communicated through his character. An holistic person is playing that character too. Amazing. So the whole idea, the whole damn thing is it's ableist. Wow, we started at a 10. We dropped down to about I don't know, at best a 7. It better not get worse. Set against the backdrop of Roman oppression in the first century Israel, the 7th season show shares an authentic and intimate look at Jesus' revolutionary life and what? Season 4 exclusively in theaters will be oh my goodness. I had no idea. So we got an autistic freaking zealot. Great.
Hey, I'm Paris Patel, and you're watching Life Minute TV.
Actor Paris Patel joined us in the Life Minute studios this month. The star plays Matthew, a man on the spectrum, in the hit streaming show The Chosen, a groundbreaking historical drama based on the life of Jesus, seen through the eyes of those who knew him. In honor of Autism Awareness Month this month, he joined forces with Autism Speaks, the organization that helps people with autism reach their full potential. This is a Life Minute with Paris Patel.
I just got back from Brazil, embarking on this global Chosen tour. We are premiering globally now, our newest season, season 4. And now I'm in New York, spreading awareness, being an ambassador for Autism Awareness Month, showcasing inclusion as well as feeling seen and accepted and showing a community that they have a place, which is what The Chosen's done through my character as Matthew.
When you realize that nobody else in the world cares what happens to you, you think only about yourself.
So on The Chosen, Matthew, through creative artistic licensing from our showrunner and creator, Dallas Jenkins, Matthew's seen as someone who's on the autism spectrum. But I feel like there's a piece of Matthew in all of us. I think we can all relate to him in terms of how his journey has on our show. He's seen as someone that's kind of outright rejected from society, ostracized, not included, and he does.
Oh my goodness, this is so bad. So he's autistic follower of Jesus. If he's, most autistic people, I'm going to see if I can make this work. Most autistic people don't, most autistic people are atheists or unbelievers. We're like 3 times more likely to be unbelievers or atheists than holistic people. That's how we roll. Okay? See if we can get this to go.
He doesn't know his own worth. And our show is kind of showing what it means when you find someone that believes in you, sees something in you. I like to call it an activation. From that, it was like one seed that was planted in him, and he's grown leaps and bounds as the seasons progress in confidence, finding his own self and leadership in many ways. So he's a character that a lot of people are resonating with and relating to around the world.
How can you not have a relationship with your own father?
I didn't choose this district. You chose this job. The Romans never forced you into it.
He says he has no son.
I was just grateful to have someone like our showrunner, Dallas Jenkins, who through creative conversations and just kind of listening to him and discussing story and seeing where we want to take Matthew and show his true self, his authentic voice.
They don't give a crap. They don't give a shit.
That was very instrumental for me to get into the voice and body of the character. But also on my own, I researched, I tried to, kind of consume myself in as much information as I can because I wanted to portray the autism community with the utmost respect and honor.
And so he went to Autism Speaks, which is a big problem.
And just be my most authentic self because I see myself as an ambassador and just wanting to show the world the light of these individuals in that they deserve to be seen and respected and understood. And just to kind of just simply show that they have a place in this world. And through Matthew's journey, you can see that. And you can see how he kind of implements himself into the disciples and the society in a way and really find his strength.
I may yet have need of your keen powers of observation, Matthew.
It's interesting, you know, because I don't think a lot of us have thought about how his book is so detailed, and he comes from a financial background. So, you know, all those things are very plausible to help kind of elevate who he was, but also show that it's very likely he could have been high functioning.
Why did you wake me up and not the others? I've been forming fragments of teaching in my mind for some months now, and I'm ready to organize them.
You know, when we first started the show,
I just love this. Okay, so I guess we'll see how he became an expert on autism. Let's see here. Oh, gonna get goofy if I do that. Okay, this is getting very strange. Okay. Moving right along.
We only
Like,
had
sometimes I
funding to
get
finish
it
the
and
first 4
sometimes I don't.
episodes, so we were not sure if we were going to finish the entire season. So from the beginnings, the show has been kind of this Humble's beginnings type, you know, however you want to phrase it. But just to be where we are now, releasing globally, you know, I just got back from Brazil and in other countries, and seeing the impact that, you know, not only my character, but the rest of my castmates' work has done and really changed lives and given people a voice, but also hope, has been life-changing for me because as an actor, sometimes you don't know the impact you're having until you see it. And for me, it's just been a little more personal on a level that I've kind of found my purpose, in that I love to act, but also I am inspiring people. I'm giving people a voice and validation. And it's just really important to me to have people feel like they're included and seen.
Okay, whatever.
The lighthearted moments are the ones that are more memorable. You know, we just finished releasing season 4. I'm about to start season 5 next week. So we're towards the end of the journey. So a lot of moments that I'm remembering are getting sadder because I know this time will end. But the moments that always make me laugh are when we're together as a cast because we're so close. We're like a family. And it's usually when we are filming late at night at 3 a.m., delirium hits, and we just, someone loses a line and we just all giggle and just it's infectious laughter, and it's just, those are memories that I love to have because I like to have fun, because
So this really isn't about autism at all.
you really see our heart in it, but also you
About this
kind of see
dude.
the camaraderie between us, and that's kind of our little magic sauce because we're so close. In season 1, the first seed of change that kind of got into Matthew was when he was witnessing the miracle of the fish, and he is just, you can see him calculating in his brain of how did all these fish appear, and all he says is it's impossible, but you can see that his heart knows it's possible. So that's a line I always remember. It's like one of my first moments that really kind of unlocked Matthew's heart, and kind of started the journey that's to come with him, because we've seen the low lows and the high highs. I think, you know, this was just all part of the plan. And for me, I'm just really humbled and grateful to be a part of it. As someone that's grown up not really seeing representation of myself on mainstream media, to be on a cast that's so diverse and just really resonating with so many around the world, but also impacting people and changing their lives, it's just been, you know, it's one of those things where I hope lightning strikes twice, because I don't know if I'll ever get a chance like this. So I'm just trying to enjoy it while I can. And I just feel like I'm just honored to be a part of it, truly. Since 5, I was in a play in kindergarten, and I was the host of the play. And all I had to say was,
What was that?
so let's get on with the show. And I was a clown, by the way. So I'm gonna clown. And I think from that moment, I just fell in love with being on the stage and just hearing laughter and just hearing energy. And I know 5 is such a young age, but I just, ever since then, I just had this, I was drawn to the stage. But, you know, there were certain things in life where I kind of deflected from truly going into becoming an actor. And I think it was a feeling that I just couldn't let go of. So once I graduated college with the finance background, I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. I'm going to try acting and kind of just put my heart and soul into it. I love to
I'm just going forward.
so I like to take her on walks and kind of spend time with her as much as I can. My mental space and relax, and it's kind of like I said, me time.
Me. Yeah, you're getting a lot of me time. I like their lighting in that room, though. All right.
Okay, so I want people to know it's okay if you're struggling.
All right, so okay, that's the end of that one. That was not very good. I'm thinking only a 4. Oh, yes. Yes, it did not impress me at all. Okay, autism self-harm connection. Nobody was here to see it. That epic moment. No, that's okay. My first introduction to self-harm and autism was with headbanging. While headbanging relatively uncommon, of self-harm in general population for autistic individuals, headbanging is much more common in one study. It represented the most prominent form of self-injury. Yeah, we do that a lot. I'm going to see what this is about. Tragically, sometimes this reaches a level of self-hatred, repeated personal traumas such as lack of acceptance, pushing away from sensory needs, isolation. Yeah, so it goes beyond sensory needs. I'm not going to really go into this one. I'm just not going to do it. Youngstown, Ohio. I lived in Youngstown, Ohio. There's one really weird thing about this guy. He's white. There are not very many Caucasian people in Ohio, and he's got a yellow puzzle piece there. And this is what I think. No. Yes, there we go. Yes, that is what we got right there. That is the most wonderful, wonderful thing right there. All right, let's see what this guy from Youngstown has to say. Valley programs meet growing need for autism support. The rate of children being diagnosed on autism spectrum has increased each year with one. I remember a lot of autistic kids being around Youngstown, particularly around Hubbard and what was the other one? Who was right by Hubbard. Can't remember the name of it. Something like Maryfield or something like that. I can't remember. But we lived in Hubbard, technically. That could be where 2 local programs, potential development for the Rich Center for Autism, can become a resource that help children and family navigate that journey ahead. Okay, well, I'm going to go back here to the front. Holy heck. Youngstown, Ohio. The rate of children being diagnosed with autism spectrum has increased each year with 1 in 36 children diagnosed in 2023. Okay, I thought it was 2022, but it's 2023 now. And for every diagnosis, there is a different story, including youngsters with a variety of support and educational needs, as well as a family that may be struggling to know where to start. That can be where 2 local programs And potential development